How's it going, everyone? It's Orange Sharif here. I'm here with Konnex TV. I'm with the amazing Jeff J. Cunningham, an amazing guest we have today. This man is so inspirational. He does so much for the world. It's such a pleasure to have Jeff here. Jeff, how's it going today?
Hey, better if I was president of the United States, but we'll wait about that, you know?
Yeah. Tell us about you, Jeff. You have such an incredible story of how you got to where you are. Like what made Jeff Jeff? How did you get to where you are?
Yeah, so really, in short, 6 years ago, really where it really happened, we all have it. Have you ever had a day you didn't want to wake up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was me. I didn't want to wake up, extremely depressed. My older brother, he married a Playboy model, or they were engaged. He had the tattoo of her name on his hand. He was dead inside. They had everything that the world would buy, all the nice stuff, dead inside. I moved to Connecticut. Me and him had a dream to build a coffee shop music studio on a napkin. Wrote out that dream. He said, Jeff, I don't know if I could do this. And he said, Jeff, you've always been entrepreneurial. Can you help me? I was a teacher at a behavioral middle school. I teach photography, video editing. I taught it in like a coding class, kind of on the side of it. And 2 days later, after I went to wake up my brother to get a haircut, he didn't wake up. He died on drugs, fentanyl. And when he passed away, one of my students committed suicide. Both those things happened. I wound up going to therapy. The lady said, you have ADD, OCD. I told her I want to build a coffee shop in honor of him. She's like, you don't know anything about coffee. What are you doing? You know, go get medicated. So I said, fine, med me up. I went home to my dad. My dad always good with advice. He gave me the book, Power of the Subconscious Mind. You ever read that book?
Great book.
Yep. And then showed me a video by our guy, GC Grant Cardone. If you don't know him, if you're ever depressed, search this video, Grant Cardone depression. You could search Andrew Tate depression now at that level, but Grant Cardone, basically that video then changed my life. He said, Oprah did it, you can't. I got out of bed. I wrote that I'm going to build, just like I'm sitting in a Yard House restaurant. So that Yard House, Kokomo J's, a franchise, looking at a future franchise owner. At the level of Starbucks, you don't give up America, follow the journey and watch. And present day, I own a consulting firm, a marketing consulting firm called Changing Lives Consulting, where basically I get paid to look over a copy of webinars. Very blessed. Been flown out to look over companies, perfect webinar and copy, really do marketing consulting. Just had a guy, Rick Sedler, come on just recently to it. We're going to be building up his personal brand as well. So.
Wow. So your company now is Changing Lives. So what do you guys do with Changing Lives, and how are you helping other people, consumers and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I couldn't just say it was just me. It's me and 6 other licensees. June of Viral Alchemy helps people basically go viral with viral alchemy and brand strategy. Caesar and George are like ad wizards. So you're not spending the wrong money on ads, and they're doing Web3 and on the top 10 thing. Andy Date does Progretta. It's a software, it's a go high level white label, but it really cares about your progression and hosts courses and coaches, and a CRM that I'm a brand ambassador for. Josh does Mastering Management, which is leadership and culture development, interviewing people before it. And I do personal branding, man, copy, telling a story and stuff. And that's like the top of funnel lead flow. So with us there as a group, and we have another licensee that just applied, we're coming out with an elite war room, mastermind, all men, 7 figures and above. But with all this stuff coming out, it's really just helping people to get in the right rooms, doing exactly what to say to help the right people and get paid for it. Because at the end of the day, it's an economic planet, and we're in a recession right now. And the people who are going to stay ahead of the recession are the people who know what to say, how to help people, and how much to charge for it. And that's what I help people do.
Wow. So how did you learn all this information coming from a teacher? Did you take courses? Were you involved in grants program? How did you get such a wealth of knowledge if people want to learn how you had?
Yeah, the biggest thing that learned me, I went in a business partnership with a guy named Ahmad. He's over in London. He now owns land in the metaverse. Shout out to him. We went in business and we built a software together. And I used to be a huge geek in code, HTML back in the day. And I got with Ahmad because I personally thought he was a coder, but he was a marketer like me. We built a team. I'm coming out with a book called Getting Rich in Recession. You can pre-order it now, gettingrichrecession.com. Explains kind of a little bit of this in detail, but basically, I was selling windows and construction work for a local multimillionaire, just learning, doing his marketing for free. And I was taking the money, I was dumping it in software. By then, I started pitching my software, developing a pitch deck to VCs, angel investors, all that stuff too. Never got a successful pitch or funding. I didn't want it either, man. I wanted to work and bootstrap my money up anyway. Now I kind of see it was a little arrogance back in the day of why, like how it could actually help maybe if we position stuff. But that's what got me good, man. I owned a software that did auto DMing. Why you guys probably know them. But what was different was I put my face behind it, and everybody who bought my software, 10, 50, 100, 150, whatever it is now, it's like $200. I would help them with the copy on what to say to people. So that alone, because I generally cared about as long as they had a right product, whether it was a fitness coach or anything. And I did this for years, man. I did this right when COVID happened, and now I did it. And so I'm really, I'm blessed. In June, I've been training June as a licensee to replace me, but I'm definitely one of the best intentions at it and one of the best at it. Everybody makes money around me by helping with copy, or I give them their money back. Because it's my true wealth isn't what they remember of how much money they're. Me or billionaires not gonna remember. They're gonna remember how you made you feel, who you connected me with, right, and everything like that, and how it changed your life. So really lead from that too. Obviously, sales is part of entrepreneurship, but when you lead from that, people believe it. They're like, "Hey, you're my guy. I'm gonna come for you for personal branding," and that's what built out the course Mastering Marketing.
Wow. Just seems like you've such a good like morals and values, like a good foundation. For the audience watching, some people are first-time entrepreneurs, business owners. Did you have like mentors or people guiding you to reach this level of success that you have now?
Yeah, Patrick Ben David. You know Patrick Ben David? The Vault, by the way, the most the most valuable conference I've been to for systems and leadership. We got our core values. We have our core creed. You can see it and read it at clcinnercircle.com. That stands for Changing Life Consulting, innercircle.com. Our core values is our core creed. It talks everything from inspiring others to persistence. We wrote it down as a team. This is what I learned by this guy on values and principles. If they don't align from you, even a product as me being a paid brand ambassador for different products is Jeff the Entrepreneur on Instagram, right? So as I learned values and principles from him, it changed everything. That event, I was in the process of flying out to LA for a $64K consulting contract that I put out. Never got paid on the whole thing, but that's what we did. And I thought the guy wanted recruitment for sales. And Patrick and David gave me a few things that did it. So he's going to come on our podcast. He's an awesome dude. Not only that, dude, he's going to probably be a part of a lot of different stuff together, because he was a pivotal point to me becoming the better leader that I am. And he was a pivotal point to me talking for running for president, which I am. And one thing I noticed is how he stood up for Andrew Tate. I called Andrew Tate a tool back in the day. He might be the sharpest tool in the shed, man. He was uncancelable because he built up a good community. Pace Morby, and I know it makes people mad, but I'm just saying Pace Morby built a community. If you build a community of people, okay, they'll come out and they'll do more stuff better. So these are names that I know. And listen, not to say I condone everything that Trump says either, right? I just did an interview on YouTube with a guy about prison reform. But if you look up Trump First Step Act, it was probably one of the best things I've seen. And you know, at the end of the day, man, this country needs a lot more. We're 31 trillion in debt. And I'd like to take my shot at it, or maybe the mayor, Francis Suarez of Miami, who will be connected with shortly.
So Cunningham 2024.
What?
So Cunningham 2024?
Yeah, it'd be Cunningham Stumpo 2024. You know Cindy Stumpo?
Found a running mate?
Yeah, she said she'd be out of all of them. She has a really good heart. She has a good backing behind her, and she just says it like it is. So I'm a little more diplomatic. She's a little more Trumpish. So I think that's the best way to do it. I think actually if Trump was the VP and he had someone who controlling him, but you had some of the stuff, it wouldn't have been as crazy as it was. But either way, man, that's you're a little bit in politics, aren't you?
Yeah. Did you pick a party yet that you've chose?
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I don't think we can get like a third party. I always ask people, are you Republican, Democrat, are you fed up, right? And everybody's fed up with it. We totally draining the stuff. Do we have more corruption in America with the political system than people realize? We're not so innocent, okay? So 100%, I'm definitely more capitalism. So I think that'll let you know what side I kind of stay on. Definitely not socialism. I think AOC is great with what she believes in, but I love people, and I'll always be open-minded to attend. And when I do my celebrity podcast, Kokomo Jays, we'll have Jake Paul on, we'll have all people. I'd love to have and listen. And this is the one thing I think everybody should do. Doesn't matter what side you're on or not. I think I should even listen, because right now we have some socialistic things that we benefit from, you know, whether it's the law enforcement, everything. These are things that we socially pay into. So like there's a formula for it, right? But I don't want to be totally to the point where I don't listen or close my mind. I always want to be open-minded enough. But not when we're doing pronouns, dude, or having drag queens. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little much. All right.
It's just such an incredible journey that you've had, Jeff, from teacher to changing lives consulting to the biggest ambition you have, I'm assuming, is running for president. So that's really incredible. I mean, most people would think that's crazy, but how do you keep going for higher and higher goals, especially after you reach a goal? A lot of people want to know, do you set more goals? Like, how did you go from step to step? How do you get there? Visualization, meditation, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, so I keep a good schedule. I call it the perfect day schedule. We're coming out with like a perfect day planner. And listen, I'm not perfect, but when you master it, and we all know we've all had like that perfect day. Community is everything. You need four things, okay? You need focus, you need action plan, you need execution, and then you need accountability. Okay, those are the four things that anything to be successful. Shout out to my boy Rob Luna. But basically the biggest thing is that here's the thing. I get scared just like the rest of them. Okay. 100%. But fear is the direction. My business partner says this, Andy O'Day, fear is the direction. Okay. You can retreat or go forward. So as soon as I was afraid and I thought, man, I want to run for president, I was like, I might as well say it. Right. One of my mentors called me and said, hey, don't tell him you're going to run for president. I said, no, you don't tell anybody. You don't want to. I said, if I want to win, man, I got to start telling some people. Right. So, but my whole point of that is if I could just challenge it. And people started believing me. Jeff, you're going to be a billionaire. Jeff, you're going to have Kokomo J's. I'm in Miami. We're going to build Kokomo J's. It's going to happen. As an entrepreneur, I need to stretch my thought process. And what's the point of having Kokomo J's, a coffee shop music studio? We're having you come in. We're doing an interview. You're having a coffee. And it's a socialistic state. We're about ready to get rid of tips in America. There's a whole thing to get rid of tips. I grew as a bartender thing. And I see what's happening. The writing's on the wall. So the Lord's given me a gift to speak. If I don't speak with conviction with the community, I'm not perfect, man. I'm open to listen. Then what am I, man? I want if I have kids one day and get married and everything, I want my kids to say before when socialist America say, hey, at least my dad tried and ran for president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at least you attempted to go for it. If you're further ahead than everyone else. So really, Jeff, your story is just so inspiring. So what's the name? Is people really associate your name, Jeff the Entrepreneur, and now stuff. So what's the reason behind the branding? Where do you see the future for yourself and the company changing lives? Like, what's the direction and the meaning behind that?
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually got Jeff the Entrepreneur started. I bought a $9.97 course. And the guy showed how to fake your Instagram, put all these Lambos, Maseratis, fake followers, right? And I said, cool. I watched Gary Vee. Gary Vee said document to create, and I modeled my brand after Gary Vee. I was coaching a guy, Juan Ortiz. I said, and this is a branding hack for anybody. Switch your name with whatever you're going to be associated. Juan was like one of those big buff guys. I'm always going to do fitness. I said, well, Juan, nobody knows who you are. Switch your name to Juan Fitness. And he's like, well, you're JJ Crash 7. So I was like, well, I'm always going to be an entrepreneur. So I started Jeff the Entrepreneur. And I said, follow the journey and watch. And it kind of become punchy. Like people make fun of me. But there's a whole quote of first they laugh at you, first they mock you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Dude, I don't care if they laugh. I don't care who they are, man. Doesn't matter what they believe. It's what I believe in myself. And I know where I'm going. And at the end of the day, man, people, you can call me broke all day, man, because I'm not broke in the mind, right? And if you're not broke in the mind, anything's possible for anything. There's a lot of people broke in the mind right now who maybe might have even more money. And that's the scary point, So
now it's Changing Lives Consulting, and you're now basically your primary business is to help people with business, SEO, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's copy, man. It's personal branding. People come to me for personal branding and looking over copy. So if an offer's not selling, hey Jeff, do you know how many times people come to me? I'm in like an Uber with a guy. He's like, hey, can you look at this copy? I'm like, no, that's what I make my living for. You know what I mean? So, and I've been very blessed to be flown out to companies to actually do this. I kind of been known to build out a couple of perfect webinars, right? And there's a lot of great guys out there, things that, and that's all copy in a long form. So, it helps generate the sales for courses. It helps generate this, dude, it'll help generate me getting signatures for becoming a president. I know the whole thing of it. And listen, when I say that, it's not like saying I'm gonna run, right? But I want to act as if I've done it, right? Like I want to act so much in the commitment of it to not scare it. And it makes you better. I'm reading the Wall Street Journal every day. I'm looking ahead. I'm thinking, how can we make this country better? Like I don't want to have to move to Romania like Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? I want to put God back in America here. I don't want it to be the least, because we're losing God in America. That's the biggest thing that's happening right now.
Well, I got to ask you then, instead of saying Mr. Cunningham, I'll say Mr. President. So what would your, What would your policies be then? What would you do? How would you tackle healthcare and stuff? Just a few things if you want to share some stuff as the
Yeah, no. So here I will. So 100%. Everybody at my apartment complex, by the way, in my Midtown Miami, calls me Mr. President now. I had a lady just the other day Instagram go, "How you doing, Mr. President?" And I'll say, man, I actually, you think it would scare me? It's actually great. This would be one of the policies, man. We're spending too much money. Okay, even me, an entrepreneur, risky with my money is better than half the drunk people. We gotta cut spending on welfare programs. Okay, welfare's got to be cut. It doesn't have it takes the dad away from the family. I think it was an evil plan. I don't think it was a good plan. I think it was an evil plan to actually put a lot of the culture dynamics that we have that are not good. We're not divided, man. Okay, we're not. Okay. Listen, there's evil in there that you got to do it, but we're not as divided as they make it seem and the algorithms we play. Okay. So you're going to need to cut welfare in that program. Okay. We'll introduce obviously a new program, not to just cut it straight out. And then what we'll do, format. So you're going to cut the spending there. You're going to increase it by business. This is why I'm actually okay with not running. And right now, Francis Mayor Suarez, or even DeSantis, or even Trump, man, Trump's got a long way to come, man, to earn back with me. But basically, but Francis, Mayor Suarez, he took Midtown Miami, and people make fun of him. He doesn't own all of Miami. Okay, listen, dude. He's encouraged more businesses to come to Miami. Midtown Miami, where I live, was a ghetto. Okay, it was not a place. What saved it was business, and put it in there. If we could do that same simple thing of like what for Midtown Miami, for Americans, some of the places that are economically poor, we can make America a little bit more prosperous. Okay, a little more place, and if we do it on core values and principles, dude. Actually, one person I would love to run for president would be Patrick Ben-David. I would change the law so that guy could run. Andrew Schultz just teased him about it on his podcast, and he said he would run. He's like, I wouldn't do government, I'd run for president. That's the guy who inspired me. I think he's way more qualified. If we can make a rule, and I don't know how we can do it. 35 years in, he served in the military. He has actually love for this America like I've seen nobody else, and extreme of it, and he has the acumen for it. And so I'm okay with being a cheerleader behind someone if it's not me.
Interesting. That's so interesting. Well, that's good to have big goals and ambitions. You got to keep shooting for your goals and dreams. So just curious, what are your plans now for December and next year? Do you have anything major happening, any events, things people can connect with you? What's happening for you in the next year?
Yeah, so we're launching out one of my clients, the guy who made 10K in one day when I changed his copy for his thing. He's doing a challenge now to make 100K in 90 days. So I'm challenging him. We're doing a challenge for it. We have my master marketing course, which is normally like a 30K with the whole thing. We're going to do a half off for 15K. We're going to run that. We're going to actually do pre-orders on Christmas, do a Christmas special. And we're going to do that because that's everything that I've learned in here, right? The team, systems, processes, some of the best things, great interviews by some people who've actually done it before me, all exclusive in there. We're going to really run and focus that because I've been trading a lot of my time for money being consulting. Grant Cardone kind of took Cardone U, and sold it as a premium back in the day, right? To dealerships. So we're looking for businesses that really want to master marketing, not get screwed over. And it'll be kind of a way to get in there to do it and take a few multimillionaire business owners, Rick Sedler, Josh Canty. These are guys who work with me. Blow up their names and them alone and what they want. Because at the end of the day, dude, I already accomplished a lot of my goals. Aside from the coffee shop music studio, I get paid to speak, travel, get paid to generally help people do their message. Like that's how I make my living, man. And you can hate or love it. Like people compare me to Tony Robbins. Listen, I'm myself, man. This is what God called me in. This is my purpose. I'm gonna do this till I die. 100%. We're gonna do a couple masterminds too. We did our first one in Cancun, the no-brainer offer. Do a few in Midtown Miami. I think we're gonna do one in LA with Trisha Love. I'm most influential of 2023 issue. We only got one little page there. But the interview is special, so I'm interested to see how that comes out. We'll do that when that comes out in LA. We're going to do one in Texas on land and real estate. So these are guys, John Jasniak, guys that I've worked with before. Because I know the marketing and blueprint, I'm going to give them a platform and a stage and keep doing that to people that have invested in me over the years.
That's amazing, Jeff. It's just so incredible the stuff you do. I don't even know how you can get it all done, but how do people connect with you now? There are websites, you have a new Instagram. How do people find you?
Yeah, so Elon Musk, I asked Elon Musk a question because Mario, and he said that he's going to be doing something for Twitter creators. So I'm all in on Twitter. It's very hard to spell the word entrepreneur, but if you can, just remember JJC, those are my initials, entrepreneur. I got the blue check there because I paid for it, man. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just supporting Twitter. People made fun of me on that. Nelson, man. But Jerry had my back. This is some Clubhouse dudes. Shout out to them. I love those guys, whether they hate or love me. We'll have Elon Musk probably on our show eventually. Ty was asking, we're getting Ty Lopez on. Just Elon's been so much of a huge inspiration to me and a lot of the people. So yeah, JJ's the entrepreneur on there, and then Jeff the entrepreneur. Until Instagram does anything that gets me mad, that's the best way to hit me up in the DMs. If you DM me brand BRAND, that'll use the software progression Progretta, and it'll just show you a little bit about if you want to build your brand at all. If you're a high level entrepreneur, it's usually 7-figure enough, or you just want to join our inner circle. But yeah, Jeff the entrepreneur, you search that, you'll see it.
Sounds great. Audience, if you're listening, go find Jeff. He's the man. He's an amazing guy. Anything else, Jeff, you want to say before we wrap up to people watching, entrepreneurs, people who want to become successful or maybe make that leap of faith from employee to entrepreneur?
Yeah, no, I want to say, do what you're doing, man. Start a podcast, get around people, ask them questions. That's what I did when I started. Now we have a celebrity show called Kokomo J's coming. You can follow that on Instagram too. It means heart, mind, and soul. But do this, man. You know, Hermosi, was a great guy. We've been chatting back and forth. He'll probably be on my master, definitely be on my podcast. But the four things are content, code, capital, and collaboration. And you have content and collabing right there. The two things, you know. So if you can do that, I know you've had a lot of legends. I watched you. We kind of took off podcasts when I was a consultant for a little bit, didn't do any. And then we just started opening up. So I looked at a few guys you had on, and dude, yeah, you must have a wealth of knowledge by Kevin Harrington and certain cool good dudes you got, you know?
Yeah, Jeff, again, I'm just so glad you got a chance to be on here. We really appreciate you. My audience loves you. We hope the best for you. And personally, I hope you really go all the way, get to presidency. You're someone with a lot of knowledge. So maybe I'll see you in Miami sometime.
Yeah, dude, definitely. We're doing a Miami meetup Midtown. I think tickets go on sale in a couple of weeks. So yeah, people will see you'll see me, man. All Miami will see me.
Sounds good, Jeff. Thanks again so much. Appreciate it, Jeff.
All right, be great, man. Thank you so much, Aaron.